How was motherhood for you, being an athlete, being a mother?
At that time, motherhood was tough for me because I was not bonding with my daughter, and it was just dawning to me to just quit because at that time she was the most precious thing I have in my life. So I was like, should I quit? What if I quit? What will I tell her 15 years from now? What will I say made me quit? Will she be happy? Will she be proud and said I quit because of her? I don't think she'll be pleased with that.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Beyond the Finish Line with Star, where athleticism meets inspiration, a safe space where athletes come to share their untold stories, humble beginnings, setbacks, and how they overcame, diving into intersections of sports, lifestyle, and personal growth. And I am your host, Star Mpama. I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you who have been a part of this amazing, inspiring journey, for your love, your support, subscribe, like, shares. Oh my goodness, I can't thank you enough. As a matter of fact, you have been the inspiration, and I must say I am honored. So without wasting so much of your time, today's guest happens to be a legend. Yes, she is a top 8 at the Olympics, which makes her an Olympian. 3 times World Championship finalist, a 2-time African Game champion, a one-time All-African Games, a one-time All-African Games silver medalist, multiple award. Guess what? She has coached amazing Olympians, great, beautiful athletes. She is also a mother and a wife. She is none other than Coach Ojokolo Endurance, popularly known as Mama with the Swag. Good morning, ma.
Good to see you. Good morning to you.
I can't believe this is good
Yes.
afternoon to
Good afternoon from
thank
here.
you.
Good morning from there. Good early morning from there.
My God, I
I know
finally got a hold of
it's
you.
good
I
to see your
said,
beautiful
Jesus,
face.
no, no,
What will I not do?
thank
What
you.
will I not do for
Thank
Star?
you. How have you been? I feel
You're
honored.
welcome. Honestly,
I am grateful. I'm
honestly,
so grateful.
you're doing. I'm
How
good.
have
I'm
you
good. You're doing
been?
a great job, and I'm one of your biggest fan. Even though you don't hear from me all the time, and anything I
Oh,
can do to encourage you guys, I'm here. You're welcome.
thank you, ma'am.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
We appreciate that. So, here on Beyond the
Yeah.
Finish Line with Star, after I do the introduction, I like it when my guests introduce themselves. I mean, you are a big name, and you
Okay.
are who you say you are. So please, maybe I missed some part
Okay.
of the introduction. Coach, please, can you kindly
Okay.
introduce yourself?
Um, my name is Endurance Ojo-Kolo, now Ni Akbeki. I used to be an athlete, ex-international athlete, ex-professional athlete, running the circuit for 13 years as a professional athlete. I retired and came back home to Nigeria and started coaching, and I've been doing so well in my coaching. And now I'm also one of the lead female coach in Nigeria. And let me add an AKA to my name, the Mama with the Swag.
Okay, I guess that's the name to use now.
Don't
Mama
mind
with the
those girls.
swag.
Those girls,
Okay,
they just bring the best out of me.
please, it's necessary.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. It's necessary. So before we dive into the untold stories of Coach Ojokolo Endurance, I want to ask, you were born in Great Britain.
Yeah.
England. Okay. So, I mean, we've always seen Coach Ojokolo in Nigeria. That's why I said before we dive into your untold stories, I want to know, are you a dual citizen?
No,
Please
no,
tell
no.
us so.
I lived in UK for a long time,
Okay.
but I was actually born in Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian citizen. So I think they mistaked it.
Oh,
I don't know if because of my accent when I was in England. I don't know. So I've tried to correct that a couple of times, but they still keep saying I was born in England. No, I wasn't born in England. I was born in Nigeria. I lived in the UK. I started my professional athletics over
okay.
there. So that was where everything
Okay.
actually kicked off from. That was where I actually knew that I was going to go somewhere with track and field.
Okay. So let's dive into the beginning. You have achieved so much. And one thing I know for certain is every
Yes,
champion
of
has a
course.
spark. So, how did it all start for you?
I think when I was growing up, I've always been a tomboy. I've always been the girl that come home with male friends. My parents always find that really strange that you are a girl, but all your friends are boys. And
Okay.
all my friends that are boys are into, you know what boys do? They play ball, they play football, they compete among themselves.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just run in our yard and just say, who go carry first, So we just, everybody's running. So from there,
Mm-hmm.
um, I saw some of these boys, they run for their school. When there's inter-sport, we go there, we challenge ourselves. I just saw myself being good. Even at the end of the day, sometimes even racing some of the boys and even running faster than them. And it all started like that. Honestly speaking, it didn't go well with my mom, especially, who thinks that sports is not meant for girls, it's only for the boys. So I
Okay.
am a tomboy, very stubborn kid. In my teenage years, I was so stubborn. Right, stubborn though. Stubborn to if I, that thing I know is good for me, you don't want to stop me. You will not walk. You know. So my dad is always my
Okay.
biggest fan, encouraging me in those things that my mom does not want me to do, especially when it comes to my mom will say, why are you following all these boys? They are criminal. My mom will say, but these boys, they are not thief now. At least if she's behaving herself, let's just leave her with these people. And when they were doing this course too, I was going for this
Mm.
invitation relays. My mom would start her own war. Like, no, this girl want to come out like a boy now. Now, before you know, she will not have kids. She will not do this. People that run, the people that do sports, they don't have kids. My mother said, are you God? Leave this girl just enjoy herself. She's a teenager. She has not even getting to the stage to even give birth. And she did not give birth. You are complaining. So actually
Mm.
I got into sports, and I was one of the best in my little town, Sapele. So when we go to competition in other local governments, I always sometimes we'll go with a crop of athletes, and probably I might only be the only athlete, both the male and the female, that will even qualify to go represent the state or to go represent my zone in my local government. Then we'll go to interstate trials, and I will win, and I will even beat some of the athletes that has been employed, that are under employment in the state, in the state sports council. So this was how it all started. And this the years I'm talking about, this was 1990, 91, 92. So that was how
Mm.
it started, but wasn't so serious, just on and off, because I was so really, really scared of the training. The training are so hard that it's like, if I train today, before you will see me again for another 10 years old. So when I go to the train, I say, how can I be running now? They will tell me to go around the field for 4 times. What am I doing now? At the Christmas, they go four times for field. I know they do this kind of thing. I said, now that's not, I don't need to train for me to go run. So I always believe that. So it wasn't, I was just on and off, on and off. But at 1992, I now went to represent the state in under 20 championship, MKO under 20 championship. And this was when it started getting serious with me now. 92, when they
Mm.
took me there, I was a junior then. It took me to Lagos. I was to represent Delta State in the 100 meters, in the 200 meters, in the long jump, in the 4x1, and then the 4x4. But the 4x4, which I declined, I did not do. So I did the 100 meters, I won it. The
Mm.
200 meters, I won it. The long jump, I won it. And the 4x1, our state happened to come first, me running the last leg. So I got 4 gold medals from the MKO Abiola Championship, and we were paid money. So I think each gold was 20,000 naira then. It was big in 1992. You know what 20,000 is? 20,000 is like 2 million of
Wow.
today. Yes, in 1992.
20K.
So I was like,
Hmm.
wow, sure, money that is thing. I will go back, go train. Oh. So actually, when I came back, nobody told me to go and train. So, and they were also saying that, this is not the end, though, that after this MKO, we are going to watch junior in South Korea. I say, we go travel, we enter and replay. They say, yes. I say, I don't enter with that. I don't go with that. So really, I came back home and I was serious. I went to the coach in my local government. I was training, and I was actually training. Then there was no phone communication. You don't actually know what is going on. Then it just, if there is they send telegram. So a telegram was sent to my school, and my principal now came to call me because I was in the boarding house then. So came to call me and said, they sent in a telegram that I have to go to Lagos now. So she gave me a transport, and I made my way to Lagos, to the Gibbs village in in Lagos. So I met them. They were already in camp then.
Hmm.
That was how we're in camp for like a week, and they said they need to do another trials again. And people came from other local that were not in the team, that were not in the camp. They came to do the trials. And when I was in that camp, I felt sick. So when the trial came, I was sick. I was having malaria, and I wasn't really, I didn't feel myself. So I placed last in that trials, and I was dropped from the team from going to the World Junior. But the federation president at that time noticed, I think when they were having their meeting, he noticed, Baba, call him Baba Ogu, and he noticed that my name was not on the list. And he's like, where is that girl that dominated in the world in the MK Abiola Championship? Why is her name not here? They said, oh, she was sick during the trials, so she couldn't perform to expectation. I was like, what is wrong with her? And they said, it's malaria, malaria. So why did you guys know she's one of the best we have at home here? Why did you let her compete? She shouldn't compete. She shouldn't have competed in the trials. We get her treated, then we take her to South Korea. Then we make use of her over there. We don't need to stress her. So thank God enough, and I was going to go that following day. I didn't go. So the girls were like, no, and they just stay. When we come back from training, you follow us, because they've already paid me off to go. So I was surprised in the afternoon, Coach Amelia, which is the female Coach Amelia, the popular Coach Amelia, came with Baba Ogun to the camp. And they were screaming my name in the passage, and I was scared. I didn't want to come out because I thought that was like, if you were at the camp, you had to go home. You're not supposed to stay in the environment. I was like, yeah, they knew. Yes, I was scared in the room. So one of the athletes, Stella Emefiele, just came in and said, come, bring your passport. Did they call you? Bring your passport. I said, passport for waiting. He said, they don't put your name for the list. They don't put your name for the list. So quickly, I quickly jumped. I bring my passport quickly. I gave it to them. And before you knew it, I made a trip to South Korea. And that was actually my first international competition to represent Nigeria. So it was really, 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 really interesting for me. The whole trip, I was like the youngest in the team then. I was very young. I was the youngest in the team. Everybody was looking after me. Everybody was calling me baby, 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 baby. So when we went to that trip, we got to the finals. I didn't get to, because there are some foreign-based athletes that was coming. So they used them to run the flat. And I ran the relay. We really reserved for the relay, which we did. I
Relays.
think we did pretty good. We got to the finals, but we couldn't get a medal. I think we were fifth over. We placed fifth, I think so. I can't remember so much more about it anymore.
Yes. This was in
92,
1994, right?
1992. That was my first World Junior. 1992.
1992.
We did that, and that was how it all started for me. And I knew that track and field is my path. This is the path I need to follow. And from there, I started making the team, made it from juniors, started making senior team. Oh, I also went to the World Junior in 1994. In 1995, that was when I went to the UK. I was there for a while. The intention of going to the UK was not for sports, but just my mom finding a way to just make me. She doesn't like sports. She doesn't like sports. She just
So
wanted
she
me out of
wanted you
track
out
and
of track
field. She
and
wanted
field
me to
in
follow other
every
paths,
way.
and she sees every day that I'm so passionate about this thing. This thing she's driving me away from. I'm still very much into it. So the plan of taking me to the UK was just for me to allow me to get my interest on something different, but it didn't work. I got there. My sister got me into nursing, trying to do some auxiliary nursing and some other things to go to college and so on and so forth. But I wanted to train. After some time, let me find my way to stadium or go find where for the train on. And so I take go join the team. So I was training with a coach called Clarence. Is part of the British team coach. His name is Clarence Callender, and one Donovan Reed. They were both as international athletes. They were great athletes. So I was training with him, and from there we started. I started training with him in 1990, late 1990, fall of 1996, stroke 1997. So I started training with them, and training was going
Mm.
good. Training was going great. I was doing so well. I had a lot of encouragement. Then Chief Shoma Ajunwa was in the UK then, and was always encouraging me. She was one of the persons that even encouraged me more to say, "Girl, Joe, this actually see you, they work out. This is your strength, your body. You won't waste time saying they do which kind of, you know." And she really supported me financially when I was there to say, "You listen, leave this work, go and do your sports, go find team they train with." With that, I got into back to training again, and I was training with these coaches at Crystal Palace Stadium. And before I knew it, 1997, I was running. I started my season with the indoor. My first indoor season, I run 728 indoors in the indoor 60 meters, and I didn't know what it means then. I just know that I run 728, and this was in January of 1997. And all I was hearing, this is the fastest time in the world this year. I was just like, I didn't know what it means. Yes,
7:28
and
in your
I
own
didn't know
time.
what that.
My God.
I didn't even know
You were
what it meant.
flying.
I know.
You were
For me,
you were playing
for
movie.
me, for me, it's just like I run to win. You know, it's just about winning. Then it doesn't. The time doesn't click in my head what it means or how massive it is. Or
It's
yeah,
just to
just as
get
long
to
as
the
I get to the
finish
finish
line.
line, I get to beat somebody, and that is what it is for me. So before I knew it, managers were contacting me, and I happened to get one that was introduced to me by Charity Opara. So I started working with Gianni Di Madonna. He's an Italian agent. Before I knew it, I was put into different mates. I would go from 728, 722, from 722, 718, 718. Before I knew it, I was invited for the World Indoor that same year. And I went to the World Indoor that same year. I placed sixth. I got to the finals. I placed sixth, which was a big deal for me. And from there, since then, I was professionally into track and field from the year 1997 to 2008 that I retired. It was a good journey. It was a great journey.
My God, my God, my God.
I ran some good races, and which I'm very pleased with. And
Yes, you did. You did. You did. I mean, going through your profile, I feel like they skipped a lot of things. I mean, when I made my research about you, the first international competition I saw for you was in 1994, where you represented Nigeria in the
yes,
100 and the long jump, right? But when you said
yeah,
1992, I said they skipped that
probably
part.
the class
They
I did
skipped
only
it.
the relay. Maybe that's why, because it's only the relay I did in South Korea. So probably because it's only the relay, I didn't run the flat. Well, actually,
Oh,
that was my first competition, but the first competition I actually went to and I actually run 100 meters flat for Nigeria was 1990. Yeah.
94. Okay. So now let me ask you, right? How were you able to, I mean, doing multiple events at that point in time, especially for somebody who wasn't really interested in track and field, but, seeing the funds and all of that? I would say at that point, you were not really sure on this vision. It was just the money that was pushing you at that
Yes,
point.
two
It
things was
wasn't,
pushing me. One is the money because it's and two.
okay.
No, one is that I was traveling a lot, going to different places that I've not been before, in the local government, in the states, and
Okay.
in different states, and at the same time meeting a lot of people, different people, and making new friends. That was first of all,
Mhm.
that was the interest. I couldn't wait to just go to competition and just see my friends from other states, and we'll start gossiping, start jumping. I like that a lot. So that was the first interest in. That was my number one interest. But when I started running just 100 meters. But coaches will say, go and run this, you can do this. Go and do long jump, you can jump because you have the legs, you can. So that was actually because I didn't really train for long jump. I don't train. I don't think my 632 that
Hmm.
I have then, I don't think I trained for long jump. I didn't train for it. I just had that 632 because I don't train for long jump. I
Hmm.
just train my normal sprinting training. I just when it's time for long jump, I just go yeah, with my bad technique. I will still report my 6'2", my 6'3", my 6'1", like that. So yeah.
Okay. So, being an Olympic finalist, being a three-time world championship finalist, being a two-time African champion, being a silver medalist at the All African game. This has been I mean, at that point in time, this is what I would define as consistency. You always showed up and
Okay.
showed up to the end. How did you maintain this level, especially for that very period when it was like the facilities and all of that, I believe, wasn't there as much, but you were always showing up and you were always consistent, making it to the top eight. I mean, even down to making it to the podium. How was it for you? I mean, how did you maintain that
Okay.
consistency?
I'm a very stubborn head, a very stubborn one. My coach always says, my coach in England always says, there's no such thing like I can't. Always say you can. That has always played a very positive motivation for me because every time, even when I am lost, the people I run with, they they knew me that Endurance is the type that her hamstring will return and she's ready to go. She will still go out there. The doctors will say, no, you can't use this leg for 3 weeks. You can't use this leg. Endurance will go and compete and she will go. She will run 11-2 for you, like say nothing. So I was very, very stubborn. I'm a very determined person. I never quit until I saw the finish line. And what really motivates me is that I don't like quitting. I always want to. What really motivates me is that I always think of not how do I put it. It's like I want to be an example to a lot of people. So, and my
Okay.
motivation is like, okay, you gotta keep going. You gotta keep doing it right. You gotta keep going there, putting in your belt because you one day you're gonna be a mentor to somebody and you're gonna be a role model to somebody. So is this how do you want them to see you? And at that time, I always believe that I'm already a role model to somebody. Some people already see me as a role model already. So I always look back and say, you got to keep going, Endurance. You got to go out there and do well. Even if you fail, let the world see it, let the fans see it, let the people looking up to you see that she gave it her best. So that has always kept me
Hmm.
not wanting to disappoint the people who look up to me. So that has always kept me going. Honestly, that is it. Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
transition a bit from you as an athlete to you as a
Ooh.
coach. Now, you be wait, this one you took a deep breath. I don't understand. It seems like the coaching journey has more. Okay, okay. So, how did you channel the lessons from being an athlete into coaching? I mean, that helped your coaching philosophy. How do you feel being on the sidelines guiding others as a coach?
Okay. Coaching is not something I just jumped into. I've always known I was going to be a coach. I've always known I have a lot to give back.
Mm,
And honestly speaking, Star,
okay.
I just felt that I wasn't really satisfied with what I have achieved in track and field. And I felt that I could have achieved better or do more than what I know. A lot of people say, you've done so well. Like you have just said to me that you've done so well, you have achieved so much in track and field. But I just felt I could have
You were
achieved
not
more
satisfied.
and done more.
Good.
And towards my retiree year, I gained a lot of experiences that I couldn't use anymore as an athlete because I know I was tired, couldn't push the body any more than it already is. And I knew that these experiences, I need to transform them to somebody. I need to, that thing I'm really desiring in track and field, I can actually coach an athlete that can give me someday an Olympic medal, a world championship medal. So
Mm,
that was how I got
mm,
into coaching. And honestly speaking, it was tough. At the time, I started asking myself,
mm.
being an athlete and being a coach, which is much easier? And I saw that being a coach is much difficult than being an athlete because coaches carry a lot of burden. Coaches does a lot of thinking. Coaching is more than
Okay.
just coaching an athlete, going to the stadium, holding a stopwatch, telling them what to do. It's more than that. And I got to
Okay.
realize that coaching is also parenting. And that's the tough part about it. Because as a coach, you need to be totally involved in your athlete's life. You need to be involved. You need to be a parent, not just a mother as a woman. You need to be a parent. And because some of this, sometimes you need to study your athletes. Like, let me just give you an experience.
Mm.
Sometimes I won't mention this. Sometimes some of my athletes will just come to training and from their look, you already knew there is a problem, there is a war, there is something going on, there's something bothering them. And such athletes, you can't just let
Mm.
them come into training and you've seen it as a coach and it's just throw away your face as if you didn't see. You should ask, you must be involved. I'm in a good mood today. What's the problem? You get them to talk. You must get them to talk. It's your job as a parent because now you have to put the coaching relationship aside and bring in the parental relationship. So you ask them, you need to get them to talk, and you need to talk them out of it. You need to be there for them emotionally to solve whatever, even though you cannot solve the problem at that instant, you must come up with a solution, or at least just give them something that will just console them so they can do the training for the day. And if you also know as a coach that the burden is too much for them, you don't make them train, you don't push them. So can make them play in the stadium with you where you coach the other athletes and let them watch the training for the day. And you don't leave them like that, and you make sure you be part of that problem. You be part of the solution to whatever they are dealing with. So that is something that I've come through in my coaching journey, that I knew that I can say that coaching is more it's more difficult being a coach than being an athlete. But though I've not regretted being a coach. I've really enjoyed it. And one interesting thing is I've been so privileged, some wonderful athletes. Both my own athlete, which I coached by myself, and the athlete that I've happened to meet in the national team. They have looked up to me, they've confided in me, they've seen me as a mentor, they've seen me as a mother, they've seen me as a role model, and they come to me with issues, with whatsoever they are dealing with. And I'm so happy about it. And that's the beauty about being a coach, especially a female coach, because it's not easy that can you imagine if we don't have a lot of female coaches in Nigeria? You know that stuff. We don't have a lot of female coaches in Nigeria.
Yes, I do.
If you look at the national team for the last 4 or 5 years, there are more female athletes in the team than the male athletes. This is where I enjoyed my job now. And when I'm in the team, I feel so privileged because
Hmm.
seeing these athletes coming to me, Mama this, Mama that, Mama telling me their various problems and trying to communicate with me about something. And I knew that they can't communicate that with most of the male coaches. Sometimes they won't even be able to even communicate with the male coaches. And they come to me with these things. I feel so honored. And I don't have one single regret that I decided to be a coach. It's hard, but
Amazing.
it's also interesting. And it is the best decision I've made in my life. It's one of the best decisions. Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Amazing. You talked about how coaching has feels more to you like motherhood. So I want to dive into you being a mother. How you have been able Mama, why are you always doing this? How I know you have okay. I know you have a beautiful daughter who schooled at Texas A&M who did
Yeah.
phenomenal, represented Great Britain, and that is no easy feat because you were once an athlete, now a coach, and also a mother. Now, not just being a mother to athletes who are not out of your own offspring, but being a mother to an athlete who you bettered. So, how did you manage that? I mean, producing such a wonderful and a fantastic girl. Or it wouldn't be how was okay, so it is how was motherhood for you being an athlete, being a mother. Then now, how is motherhood for you being a mother and a coach?
Okay. Being an athlete and being a mother, because I actually had in Manila when I was an athlete, and it was very not really it was really easy for me because Emanuela was with my mom. So when I'm in the circuit, because when she
Okay.
was one, when she completed one, I brought her back home because I knew if I was going to go back to track and field, I can't cope with her being in Europe with me. So I brought her to my mom. So she was with my mom for 11 years. And honestly, I barely spend time with her. And every time I come home, I'm just like a stranger for her. But she always like, when everybody comes to me, she goes to the door, stay in the back of the door, and she'll be peeping me. She'll be looking, who is this person that everybody is going to? So those times actually brought tears to my eyes but I tried to stay strong, and it almost made me quit. Excuse me. It almost made me quit track and field.
Sorry,
Yeah, it
bless you.
almost made me quit track and field those years. But
Hmm.
my mom would just say, "Calm down, don't worry, she's gonna get used to you. It's just that you don't stay for a long time because when I go to Europe, I do the indoor season, the outdoor season before coming back home. So she sees me probably after the final Grand Prix, after the final Diamond League, not Grand Prix, the final Diamond Golden League. Then we call it Golden League. Then that's when I come home, which is in September. So I'll stay till January. So after some time, sometimes she numbs and she gets used to me being around again. But and at that time she calls my mom, and she just called me whatever everybody calls me, So I at that time motherhood was tough for me because I I was not bonding with my daughter, and it was just dawning to me to just quit because at that time she was the most precious thing I have in my life. So I was like, should I quit? What if I quit? What will I tell her 15 years from now? What will I say made me quit? Will she be happy? Will she be proud and said I quit because of her? I don't think she'll be pleased with that. So I just try as much as possible to like, okay, I'm doing this for my daughter. I got to keep going, which I actually did. So with all the pains I'm feeling in my heart, and that is one of my motivation when I go back every year to the circuit. She's part of my motivation. She's part of the you have to do this for Emanuela. You have to do this for her. Run for Emanuela. Someday she's gonna grow up and she's gonna know those times you were not spending time with her. This was it. This was what you were doing. You were making her proud. You were winning for her. So that was how it was. I retired when she was 11. Yeah. Yeah, I retired when she was 11. When she was 10, sorry.
Track and field apparently took
Yes,
out 10
yes,
years of
yes.
that
Retired
relationship.
fully when she was 10 years old. Came home fully when she was 10 years old. And that was when we started. At that time, she's getting used to the fact that I'm a mother now. And we started bonding, and she was asking me a lot of questions. It's like, where do you go? Why can't I go with you? Why do you always leave me? Why can't I go with you? And I'll tell her because I'm in the circuit, I am running, and sometimes I'll play some of my tapes for her. I have them on CDs. I'll play. I say, this is what mommy is doing out there. And she said, oh, I can also do this as well. I said, I know you can. One day you will. That's how we started bonding again. Today, she's the closest person to me. She's my best friend. She's the world to me.
Oh, God, I feel like having a daughter
I
right now,
know, I know. She
but I never achieve anything.
she makes me
My goodness.
she makes me feel too so young, and she makes me feel that she's my younger sister. She makes me feel that I'm a girlfriend, and she will just she talks to me like I'm this young girl like her. So we talk, we she makes me so girly. We have the best relationship right now. She's part of my encouragement as a whole.
Mama with the swag.
She's part of my encouragement right now, and as a coach, and she also gets some tips for me as well. She confides to me a lot. We have the best relationship. Then it was tough, but now it's kind of good. It's kind of
Amazing.
good. She's very, 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 very proud of me. She's very proud of me, and I'm also
So
proud of
her
her.
traits
Sorry?
okay, her traits for athletics, was it something she picked from you?
I'll say yes. I'll say yes. Because,
Well, a tree
yeah,
cannot, a
yes,
fruit
they say the
cannot
mango
fall far from the trees.
doesn't fall far from the tree. The mango doesn't fall far from the tree. Yes, yes, it's something she took from me because she's always say, "Mommy, I'm going to run like you someday. Mommy, I'm going to run like you someday." But it's just unfortunate. She had so much injuries, and when she was in A, and she had so much injuries, knee injuries. She did 4 surgery in her knee, and that was one of my issues as well when I was running as an athlete. I managed it. I managed it as well. I had a lot of knee issues, but I managed it. I was a tough one. I was always wrong with those injuries. Even when I was told I was going to do surgery, I refused that I wasn't going to do any surgery, and that is part of what actually made me retire from track and field. I retired earlier than when I was supposed to retire from track and field because the pains were too much. I just knew that I don't want to do the surgery because I knew how the knee surgery goes. I know it's not 100%, So I just like, okay, let me just give it some more time and quit. And that was exactly what I did. And now she's carrying the same trade as well. She has a lot of knee injuries. She had a knee injury and she did surgery. The surgery was repeated again and again. She did it 4 times. When she went to ASU, they repeated the surgery twice there again, and it was just too much pain. And I just said to her, I said, listen, It doesn't mean I was an athlete. Your dad was an athlete. You're going to be an athlete as well. You know, I'm so proud of you. You've done so well. You've been through the night 4 times in your knee. I don't want you to stress yourself. I give glory to God. You have your degree. You know, it's better you pursue your career, you pursue another career than you going through this pain again. So she still want to come back to track and field, but I'm just the one saying I don't want to see you go through this pain anymore. Please, please, please. That's where we're at. And outside Emmanuel, I have a son as well. I don't know if you know I have a son. I have a son as well.
Yeah.
He's 11 this year. He just turned 11 in October. So he has a little brother as well. So that one is my chewing gum now.
Amazing.
It's always chewing gum in my handbag. If not for the restriction I put, if not for this here I draw. I said, don't come into this room as I'm doing my interview. Don't come into this room. Or if not, you would have seen. You even asked me, came to ask me before we start, Mommy, can I just stay? I said, no, you're not staying. Go. I said, you're not staying. Go. Motherhood has been interesting. Motherhood has been interesting. I have good relationship and great relationship with my children, just as I have with my athlete as well. So it's
Amazing.
good. It's good.
Let's dive it deep. Let's dive a bit into love. I mean, so finding love at the age of 47. That's an incredible chapter.
Magbeo, Magbeo, you want to discuss this thing with this old woman? You don't give me up.
So no, we are wrapping. We
Okay,
are wrapping up. We
okay.
are wrap. Mama, I did. Are you not Mama
Okay,
with the
fine,
swag again?
God. I did this.
I did not.
Oh my God. Okay, bring it,
So
bring it.
finding love at the age of
Yeah.
47. Right? How? So how has marriage, you know, being, I would say, how has marriage enriched your perspective as a coach and an athlete? And also, I need you to tell us a bit about that untold story, finding love at 47. There's something behind this. We want to hear.
Okay.
That's why it's called. When you hear my introduction, I'll say the untold stories. Please tell us more.
It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. You know, life always have a way of blessing you, even when you don't believe and when you've given up, somehow hope seems to arise, you know,
Okay.
and that's where I am right now. It's not a secret. I've not had good relationships in the past. I really have it rough when it comes to relationships.
Mm.
Even at a time, I was like, is it me? Am I a bad person? Because I started questioning who I am. Even when I totally gave up and I was like, no, it's no more. I'm not doing this anymore. I just want to focus on my athlete and my children and that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I think
Mm.
this thing is not for me. This thing is not for me. This relationship thing, this love thing, this marriage thing is not for me. You know, what is it? What is this thing? You know?
Mm.
So I actually gave up when I met my husband. And my husband happened to be somebody
Mm.
that I grew up with in the same area. We stayed in the same area, the same street when I was growing up. And I've always looked up to him as that big boss, that big brother. So I was shocked and surprised that we ended up in the party. The first thing, we were sitting close to each other, and he said to me, I know you are single. I said, excuse me, what's the meaning of this?
Oh.
He said, I know say I know you don't have anybody. He said, tell me the truth. He said, tell me the truth. He said, tell me the truth. Do you have anybody? Are you married or are you single? I said, I don't have anybody. I'm single. Why are you handsome? And he's like, I will marry you. I said,
Mm.
I
Ha.
said, just as I'm laughing, I said, how many bottle of Energy have you drunk? I said, he said, no, I've only drank theory. He said, it's not
Are
bottle.
you?
He
Are
said,
you?
it's not, he said, it's not bottle, it's can. He said, look at it. It's can. It's can is not big. He said, I'm pressing it for me. I've only drank 3 can of Energy. Like, no, bro. I was calling him, bro. I said, bro, stop this kind of play. Oh. This kind of play. He said, no, you don't know. Me, I've been following you. I'm behind you. But there's no better way to tell you. So I'm just going to tell you now that we
Ah,
are here.
ah.
I will marry you.
My God.
Sir, I said,
Oh.
this one, don't pass, be careful. So I told him, I said, let me enjoy this party for crying out loud. Please let me enjoy this party. You enjoy this party, let me enjoy this party. Throughout the party, it was clear to me. If I sit down right, he will sit down right. If I sit down left, he will come to left. I said, this one, now, stop us, be
Ah,
careful. I don't
ah,
want to start with this kind of thing. How do I start? So it was just like joke.
oh
I'm
God, I
telling
enjoyed
you.
them.
So I was just thinking, I said, "Oh, this guy is drunk. He just wants to use me to do
Hmm.
yeah. So the party finished, we find our way home. So I now told him so when I want to go home, when I want to go into my car, I said, so do you take me serious? I'm serious about what I said. I said, is that how to test a woman? How can you just tell you want to marry me? You don't even toast me, sir. Which kind of me that? But I told you I want to.
Wait, Mama, wait.
I said, which kind? I said, you don't even toast me, sir. I said, very romantic. How can you not toast me? I'm not married.
I said, do
I said,
not
you don't
toast
even
me.
toast me. I'm not married. You go first toast me first. You don't toast me just say I won't marry you. I said, how you go just tell me say you won't marry me?
With this one. Can you want to ask Mama with the swag out and you're telling her you just marry her when you
I
guys
go marry.
toast
He just
down?
kept,
You
he came to my
toast.
car. He was answering me, saying, that thing I told you, I'm very, very serious. When can we see again? I want to marry. I said, what kind of seriousness with this? What do you mean you want to marry me? You didn't even toast me. You want to toast me first now? Sure. You don't toast me, just say you won't marry me.
Make you
I
first do shakara
said,
now. Make you first talk.
you.
No, I'm going to think about it.
And I told him, say, because when I was leaving the party, and I said, I believe you are drunk, but if tomorrow you still call me and you tell me this thing, then let me just say that you are serious. Ah, they sleep my sleep.
Mhm.
Then the 5:30, my phone they ring. And this guy call me. I say, hello. I don't even know say na him. I say, where did you get? I told me this. He said, Mr. Tony Apike. Say the love of my life. I said, well, we are.
It's real. 5:30 in the
He
morning.
said, well, I just want to tell you talk. Say I did serious. I did serious. So when you want me, I come see your mama. I say, you come see my mama.
No.
I say,
No, Mama, wait you for do. You'd have called Wada to come and
I'm
dump him
telling,
for drink.
I'm telling you, that's what I want to.
Drink
So
of love.
he say, when you go come see my mama, I say, this thing is not the turn rough flow. Before I know it, they invite me for Commonwealth Games. Now I
Mm.
go Commonwealth Games. So I did my Commonwealth Games. They enjoy myself for Commonwealth. My mama called me. My mother said, there is one man here. Oh. He said he wants to marry you. I said, Mommy,
My
please. Oh.
God.
I said, which man? He said, my mother speak my dialect and that's it. He was answering him on the phone. Say, what's your name again? He said, Mr. Telephone. I said, Mommy, is that a joke? He said he's here with one woman, oh, they carry drink, or they say, I said, I never hear this kind of thing before. I said, Mommy, I better give her the phone.
My
I said, hello,
God.
what are you doing in my house? I told you now, I want to marry you. You're not the kind of woman I want to go they do this kind of thing with now. You're a woman that I can take you. I cannot just say I want to come and date you now. I want to marry you. Just do the right thing now. I love you now. I'm in love with you. I said, come, oh boy, are you joking? Are you playing?
God.
No, he's not playing. No, he said, no, I've been just seeing you in a party. I've been following up with you. Different places I've been seeing you. I've just been watching
Oh,
you. I've been seeing you alone, and I know I've done my research. They told me you don't have anybody. That's is why I don't want to beat around the bush. I know you said I did not spin you. That's why I don't want to spin. I just go to the point. I want to marry you. I said, please hold on. Let me come back. I said, I'm not in the country. He said, I know. I said, okay, when I come back, true, come they talk the guy come they say you cannot come go do I can't go meet better man true make I dey whom I dey give am the audience now before I go look for somebody else but now I come dey give am audience we dey gist dey go dey gist come dey find out my interest I dey find out
mm,
the interest we dey talk dey go okay why are you single at this time he started
mm.
telling me his story I started telling him my own I said actually I don't even myself I have
Yeah.
even given up I'm not interested in all these things anymore I said but trust me I promise you
Yeah.
happy, at this age, the age that I am, the age that you have. If we can't find love now, if we can't treat each other right, when are we going? When? He said, I've made my mistakes. I've made my own mistakes in my own relationship. and I want to get it right with you. I want to get it right. Please, just give me a chance. And he started pleading with me. And as he was talking to me, I was talking to my family, especially my was very close friend with my brother.
Ah,
Marry me in December.
yeah.
I said, this is too sudden now. He said, why wait? I can't date you. I said, if I leave it long, and that means I'm dating you. I can't date you. You're too big for me. Your name is too big for me to tell. They will say, I will tell you point out Ojokolo is my girlfriend. Now, they should be addressing you as my wife. I should be see when they see me with you, they will know that I'm with my wife. Oh,
My God, he had so much
yeah, it
respect for
does. So I was
you.
like, my God, how do I do this? I was telling my brother, I said, no, this is too sudden. I beg, I'm not fit. I'm not. My brother said, take her. I don't want your story. Oh, this man like you. You go marry him. I don't want you. I can't say no talk. Oh. I said, I don't know this guy, whether they pretend they can't or not. He says, I said, okay, they pretend they can't do what now? If they pretend they can't do what? Yeah, this not big man and this person, what you want to pretend can't do? Okay.
Hmm.
Anyway, I've never been married. Let me even just even feel like it feels like I want to get married. Wait in a relationship at the end of it. Make I just even marry self. Make I still even see as it is. Yeah, I want to let me give marriage a go. That was her. Journey
Yeah.
continues. And believe me, you, I'm married to the best man. I'm married to my best friend, to my soulmate.
I wish I was at
I
that
know, I
wedding.
know. I really wish I was gonna come, So it was really encourages me a lot. When
My
I
God.
traveled, always calling, me,
My
my
God.
athlete. Oh, and you say, I know they do sports, which are fit to support to Nana. Will be answering me all those questions. And so I said, don't worry, we are just fine. Don't worry. Or you're doing right. Just calling me to just answer after me to that's the encouragement I've never had in the past. In my past relationship, they've always seen me as a coach, as an obstacle. They always see my coaching as an obstacle. The relationship I left before going into this one has always seen my career as an obstacle that I'm just meant to just be a wife, being in the kitchen, not having a career, nothing. Just sit down there like one kind person where they say, not get name, you not get life to live at all. So with this one is pretty different, and 2 years counting and 2 years plus counting and he's still a gentleman, the nice man.
Young ladies,
Yeah, the nice man.
Mama is
I
telling us to
know.
don't go allow one man to
I
tell
know.
you, eh, Mama,
This is
enter
incredible,
second.
man.
A man that will not support
I
your career.
know. I know. Fire, fire,
A man that will not support
fire.
your career. Look at okay.
He's speaking, he has been a very, 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 very good person to me, and he still is, um, still there, still encouraging me, still very supportive, still standing by me. He has not changed, and still making me feel young. He calls me, say, ah, my wife now 16 years now. Not necessarily a young girl and married, He always tell me I'm a 16, 15. I'm a sweet 15, calls me a sweet
Uh
15,
uh,
you know.
uh. Mama
I'm
with the
telling you,
swag.
when it comes to my marriage right now, I can't complain. The best days of my life when it comes to relationship, best days of my
It's so
life.
amazing.
I'm happy for.
It's
Thank
so
you.
amazing. It's
Thank
so amazing.
you.
So now let's begin to wrap up quickly, right? With all of this experience, I mean, you've had decades of experience as a coach and as an athlete. If you want to rate African athletes now and their performance, where would you say African athletes at the moment are at the world stage? And what do you think would be done? What would you say they have achieved? And what would you say if this is being put in place, if this and that is being done, maybe by the federation, by the country, by the athletes themselves? What would you say would make things better?
Hmm. Right now, I would say if you put the continent of the world together, when it comes to athletics, we are still in the bottom. Africa as a country, we are in the bottom. We are raters. And I felt that
Hmm.
we can do better, we can dominate better, we can do better than what we are doing in the world stage right now. But there are so many things that need to be
Okay.
put in place. And one of the things I think, because if I go for, say, there are no facilities for training, and that is why there's that is like maybe I'll be talking too much. I will say
Hmm.
there's nothing like personal support. what the athletes actually need is personal support.
Mm.
And if the athlete will be supported financially, an athlete know what they need, they know what it takes, they know the demand it takes to be an Olympic athlete, it takes to be a world-class athlete, it takes to be in the podium. But most of them don't have what it would take, they don't have that thing at hand that will take them there. If an athlete is supported, they know where to travel to go and train and have a good training. The money is them. You can say, okay, I will have better training facilities in Florida, or going to Texas is better, or going to, let me just say, for those who wants to go to Europe and say, oh, if I get money, I for go Europe, go train, I for go train with social coach for UK, I for go social train with social coach for Germany, I for go train with social coach for, they know. And you can't do that because when you go, you pay for accommodation, you pay for physiotherapists, you pay for your feeding and other miscellaneous included. An athlete needs support, 100% support, backing. Results are not achieved in one day. It takes 4 years. 4 years. So you don't support an athlete this year and expect result next year. You support an athlete this year and expect improvement the following year and expect another improvement. It's a ladder. Then from there, the end of BAM, the Olympic Games. What you can't go to the farm, clear it, don't plant a cassava thing and expect to harvest Gary. Not possible. So for me, the number one thing an athlete need, African athletes need, I won't speak for other countries because I don't know what they are getting. Nigeria athletes need is support. And there's a thing going on. I thought that they brought this adopt an athlete scheme back. That would be great. And they need to adopt not just 10, not just 20. We have a lot of athletes who need this backing, who are so talented, which I know that if they have this support in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, by 2028, we get about 2, 3 Nigerians in the podium at the Olympic Games. Because sometimes the help comes too late, the money comes too late. Because if I'm an athlete now, I'm injured in January, I have a competition, I have a world championship in July, and I don't get the support that I need. And in July, you are coming to give me something to go and treat that leg. But you know will work. That money now is just like in January that I'm injured. That is when I need the money. That is when I need the support. That is when I need to get my nutrition right, my meal right, to eat well. To say athlete, eat well, eat good food. Is it not money you will use to eat good food? It's money. So the number one key thing an athlete needs is backing, support. An athlete needs support. Then the things that need to be put in place, honestly, is still boiled down to facilities. It boils down to facilities. A lot of these states, thank God you're in the US and you left Nigeria to the US. And if you compare the facilities you see out there and the ones that we are using here, you will know the difference is clear. So we need facilities as well in our stadium, in our various stadium, various states needs to do that because that's the only way we can get good results. Then another thing again is training our coaches. Our coaches need more training. We need more training. We Nigerian we have a lot of coaches, so we also need more training as well. Not just in Nigeria, just if we are speaking for Africa in general, we need more. We need more training for our coaches. Should be more coaches seminar and so on and so forth, and that will help us a lot. Those are the things from my own perspective I feel that we should put in place.
What is your definition of high performance for a coach and an athlete like yourself who has experienced a lot? I see a lot of people say some athletes are talented, some athletes are hardworking, but sometimes they will say, I would rather pick a hardworking athlete over a talented athlete. Some people would say, no athlete is talented, no athlete is hardworking. It's just putting in the work. And at the end of the day, high performance would be achieved. So now my question is, what would you define as high performance?
In my own view, I've always believed that there is no such thing as a talented athlete. Hard work pays. And for me, is you work hard, you see the results. You don't work hard, The result doesn't show. When I was growing up, when I was coming up as an athlete, coach always say, she's so talented. She get talent. She's so talented. But at the time when I wasn't training, there was nothing coming up. The more I started going further and running with different other athletes from other states, I started knowing that I was still a local athlete. Then I started knowing that I wasn't talented. I need to work hard. So they used to say, no, this girl, if you wake up, come up for sleep, come and she will just run. She will beat everybody. So for me, it's not about talent. It's about hard work. Hard work, hard training. You train hard. You eat well. Good supplements. Good physiotherapist. Good massage. Good chiropractor. Everything together brings out good performance.
Okay, Mama. Let me ask you this question as a mother, as a coach, and as a veteran athlete. What would you say to persons who want to step into your role? I mean, people who want to follow your footstep. What unconventional wisdom or truths would you wish them to know? Would you want to share with them? People who want to say, oh, I have followed her journey just as Oga followed you. I have followed her journey. I have seen her go from being an athlete, not just any athlete, but an athlete that showed up, that was consistent, that turned out to be great, came out to be a great mother, came out to be an exceptional coach. And if we have persons who want to follow that footstep, what unconventional truths would you like them to know?
Like I said, it's not really easy being me. It's been a very tough journey. And it takes a lot from me. Um, I'll say I was able to get to where I am right now in my life because I was very determined. I have a lot of determination. I was so determined. I knew what I want and I went for it. And I never lose focus. I'm always focused on that thing. That thing. If you ask people who knows me very well, who has worked with me as a coach, they will tell you that when Mama is on the field, she doesn't play. I play a lot and I joke a lot with my athletes, but when it's time to work, it's time to work. For me, business is business, and a time to play is a time to play. Is a time to joke around. Is a time to joke around. My advice to anybody who wants to actually follow my footsteps or who is looking up to me and say, someday I want to be like that woman. I don't expect people to be like me. I expect you to be better than me. You know, for you to be better than me, you have to be dedicated, you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused, and you have to be ready for war. Because war is what get me to where I am today. Because coming out to be a female coach in the national team is not easy. It's not easy. Have to be put yourself in a position, and there are things you tolerate and there are things you don't tolerate. And one of the things I don't tolerate is bullying. You don't bully me. You don't bully me and get away with it. I'll give it back to you big time. And I tactically went through that. I At the time it was getting to me, but at the time I was like, "Come on, girl, you forget who you are." You are Endurance Ojo-Kolo. So it's always good to remember who you are. I remembered who I am, and I was able to fight. I was able to raise my head up. I was able to take my place. And I got to where I am, not because I love it, but because my head was up there. I didn't walk with my head being down. I walked with my head being there. You have to know who you are, and you have to also see yourself that you are up for the task. You must not see yourself less. You know, one thing that I like doing is I'm never afraid to make mistakes. I'm never afraid. Don't always think that I'm going to do it best. Go out there, give it your go. Make mistakes. Mistake is what makes you perfect. It's what makes you better. I'm not scared of taking risk. It's always good to take risk. Take risk. It might go your way, it might not go your way, but next time you do it better. So these are things that I've gambled with, and these are things that I've done and they have taken me to. That's why I said it's not easy to be Endurance Ojo-Kolo at making. It's not easy at all because I'm a tough and stubborn one. I never give up. I fight. So I don't see myself less. I don't see myself less at all. So my encouragement to anybody that says they want to be me, I will summarize it in one word. Be tough. You gotta be tough. Especially as a woman, you got to be tough. That's the only way. And we all know, I mean, you know what comes with toughness, you know. Being tough is what gets you to where you are today, which wasn't an easy journey. But I was just watching the whole lot of you, watching Essay, watching Ruth, uh, Norman. I just look at you guys. You guys are tough, and a lot of things comes with being tough. And so probably when we use such word, when I say tough, maybe people will not know what I'm talking about. You being tough is being determined. You being tough is never you don't give up. That's you being tough. You know, you have to always put yourself as the hero. So that's my advice. Because if you see yourself as the hero never falls. The hero never fails. The hero always wins. So it's always good to see yourself as the hero. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Oh my
Oh my
God.
God.
Mama, this has been an interesting episode.
So
Thank you.
I'm so
Thank you
honored.
so much.
Thank you too.
Eh? Please don't say that again. Please
Oh
don't
my,
say it again, please. Please.
yeah, my honor.
Don't say it. Don't say it again, please. It is us. It is we. Please don't say it again. We are honored to have you.
Thank you.
After the Bible have said, honor your father and mother so that your days may be long. Please, it's me. It's please, I'm the one who is honored. Please.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
so
you.
very much for being
God bless
on
you.
Beyond the Finish Line with Star.
Thank
Sharing
you.
your story with us is one that I must say um, will touch lives and make a lot of change, giving people the understanding that being tough goes beyond just always going out there, but understanding that you have to be a hero. And as a hero, you can't fall.
At all.
So you have to be tough. And for the ladies, don't be bullied. Always remember who you are.
Yes.
Always remember who you are. So we come to the end of this exciting episode. I trust you all have been inspired. Please do well to like, share, and subscribe. And I still remain your host, Star Mpama. Until we meet again, be good, stay safe, and bye
Thank
for now.
you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
With the